Okay, we're
All
good.
right. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
All right. This is the West University Historic Zone Advisory Board meeting of Tuesday, November 15th, 2022. We just did a roll call. We have quorum, 4 members present. And we'll move on now to item number 2, approval of law from our last meeting. Has everybody had a chance? Everybody's on, had a chance to look at it? Do we have a motion to approve?
Johnny Birkenbein, a motion to approve.
Johnny, thank you.
Rachel
A second.
Sarah, I second.
Rachel, second. All in favor, aye.
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 2. Sarah Fajardo,
Aye.
aye. Rick McDonald, aye. 4-1 or 4-0. Approval of the law complete. I apologize, I'm running a little frantic here. Okay, call to the audience. Michael or Jody, was there any call to the audience? Item number 3.
Mr. Chair, we did not receive any call to the audio item.
Okay. Okay. And Jody, Tucson Pima County Historic Commission separation update. Any update?
We are still in a holding pattern. We
Holding.
did, yeah, we are holding. We did meet with the county and the SHPO office and with the National Park Service to discuss the direction that we were originally given to separate. And then we were told, in a reverse of that decision, we were told, oh, it's not necessary to separate. They were supposedly working on recommendation how to operate jointly, or if that is necessary to operate jointly. But who knows how long that will take. We are currently waiting on a letter that SHPO is going to write to NPS to address our particular situation. And it's my understanding that SHPO is working on that letter. Once we have that letter, we will hopefully move forward with starting to schedule some time with mayor and council to discuss new direction or get new direction from them, but currently still in a holding pattern.
Okay. Probably then, why don't we not have that on future agendas until such time as you're not in the holding pattern?
Do I actually have an update?
Yeah.
I will make a note of that.
Okay, sounds good. All right, that's item 4. Item 5, reviews. Starting with item 5A, HPZ 22081, 833 North 4th Avenue. I believe Marcellus, you must be speaking for that.
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. All
Good
you.
evening.
Good evening.
Let's see. Sorry. Can I share my screen, please? Oh, maybe I can. Okay, hold on. Oh, there we go. So the project is to renovate historic structure from 1906 on 4th Avenue and to do some demolition and rejiggering of a non-contributing structure in the backyard that faces Herbert Avenue. And this 4th Avenue is up here, north is up. This is the existing structure. And this is an old building that was relocated in the 90s to this location from the Presbyterian Church, Trinity Presbyterian. Here's the structure from 4th Avenue, and from the rear, this is a what used to be a porch that was enclosed at some point. We don't know when. And this is from Herbert. Let me see if I can zoom in here. kind of a ramshackle addition that was made in the 90s that's visible from the alley. So this is a first floor for the front building. This darker section is the masonry structure that was built in 1906. This lighter structure is a porch that's probably contemporaneous with the original structure, but at some point was renovated and enclosed. We don't know when exactly. And the proposal is to do some renovation to this this porch in the back, do some changes of doors and windows, but not touch any of the openings in the front. Just fix some deteriorating windows, if necessary, replace them like for like with new wood windows. But I'll explain on the elevation here in a second. And the same thing with the second story, some renovations to that back porch, but only, you know, some maintenance things to the existing masonry structure. So from the front, the only changes would be repairing some stucco, some damaged stucco, try to repair the windows in place. I think several of them can be repaired in place. Those that are just too far gone, get custom made like for like wood windows, so they have the same appearance. And the new thing is, so right now there's a wooden fence here that comes along the corner of the house, and we want to replace it. It's starting to rot and fall apart, so we want to replace it with a corrugated steel gate that's back along here. Let me see if I can go back up here. It would be back off this corner, back behind the corner there. And then starting to look at the changes on the back porch. This is the north side. Right now, this is existing. There are two big double hung wood windows on the second floor, and we want to reduce that to one narrow single hung window. This would be a future laundry room, and get rid of the window on the lower floor, and repair stucco and you know, repaint. This is the east elevation in the backyard. Currently, there's two big double hung wood windows on the second floor, and we would either repair or replace in kind, same locations. But on the bottom floor, this is basically a single piece of glass just adhered into an opening. It's not really even a window. It's a large bay window. We're going to replace that with wood casement windows under the same lintel. And this is the existing door. It's a steel panel, flat steel panel door. We want to replace that with patio doors with security steel door, you know, screen doors in front of them. And then in general, just, you know, repair the stucco and repoint the bricks and repair the stucco on the existing chimneys. This is the south side, the front masonry part, same thing, just repair stucco as needed. Try to repair windows in place. If we can't, we'd have custom wood windows. And then back on the porch area, there's a large double hung wood window, and we would like to reduce it with a small vertical wood window, and then repair stucco, etc. Let me go back here real quick. And then one thing we wanted to add on the back porch was put this little eyebrow roof over these two doors that kind of echoes the front. It's kind of echo of this front porch. So just be a few feet out on the wall. The big changes would be to the back structure. Let me show you a picture of it real quick, right? So this used to be a classroom building that belonged to Trinity Presbyterian. It was in the parking lot right next to us. Time back in the 90s, they were getting rid of it and they moved it a couple blocks over this backyard. And the owner at the time built this frame and stucco addition to the back of it with kind of a hodgepodge of double door. It's supposed to be a workshop apartment at the time. So we propose that we tear down, this is the 1990s edition here, and this is the masonry structure that was relocated in, I think, 94, but sometime in the 90s. And it's big for everything added in the 90s and add a new frame structure back here and some steel fences to enclose like little patios. So this is what it looks like from Herbert right now. It's kind of a flat stucco or synthetic stucco frame structure with a clay roof. And we propose, so the clay roof is in bad shape and it needs to be replaced. And the proposal is to not replace it with clay, but to put corrugated roof on it. There's a lot of other corrugated structures on Herbert, on that back alley. And the back part that would be framed then would be corrugated siding that would be factory painted. And the doors would be flat panels, flush steel doors with steel security doors in front of them. And with the existing structure, so in this photo, you can see that in the 90s, before they relocated it, this little porch on the front, and that's been ripped off over the years, so it's just bare. So they want to, and these steel casement windows are the paint shape. So the proposal is to repair these in place, add a porch back on with matching corrugated roof. And then on the repair the lime stucco and paint the existing structure and put steel security bars over the new proposed windows. And then there's one other major thing to address here. So the previous owner made a cut into the front wall on 4th Avenue. He had a boat repair area in the backyard, and to get a boat out, he cut into this this wall. So part of our proposal is that we extend that cut. Let's see. So that, let me zoom in here. So there's a cut already in the wall. We would like to extend it down to the ground and have a driveway to get cars back in there that would go back and be parked behind the fence so it wouldn't be visible. And there's a precedent for this on 4th Avenue. So first of all, there's already a curb cut. So at some point, I mean, I don't know why that curb cut's there. It seems like this wall isn't probably from 1906. So there might have been a point where there was a driveway there. It seems like a logical thing. So the curb, we're not proposing a new curb cut or anything. It already exists right in line with this cut in the wall. And if you look further up, this is the next block north. You can see there's several driveways on 4th Avenue that come down to a curb cut. So there's on this street, it's unusual for the neighborhood, but it's common on 4th Avenue. So that's the other thing that we're requesting. And this was just for fun. There's a 1924 aerial. You can see the area where the ATL wings is right there. And this is that apartment complex. This is the structure right here. And that's Catalina Park. And this is the inventory sheet, 1906 structure. And for Johnny and Rachel, you'll see that it belonged to Larry Medlin, and the owners now are his son and daughter, Larry Jr. and Minette Stapleton are current owners. And that is it, unless ready for questions.
You said, Marcellus, that the doors facing the alley on the addition, that no, I'm sorry, that are going to be on the structure are steel and then have the steel security doors in front of them.
Yeah, that's the proposal. It's just a flush steel door, which this is an accessory non-contributing structure. So
Okay.
I believe
And
that's
then-
permissible.
Okay. Johnny, Sarah, Rachel, any questions for Marcellus?
I don't have any.
I have a quick question. It's not really probably even that important, but you said you're replacing that wood fence on one side. Is there a wood fence on the other side of the house that's also getting replaced?
So currently, let me go back up here. There's a wood fence with a rolling steel gate on Herbert. And the proposal is to get rid of this. And let me get it. There would be a steel gate back here. Opening into, it would corrugated to match the front to block off a patio. There'd be parking off the alley. And then there'd be a little steel gate right here. So there'd be an opening with, there'd be a little bit of corrugated right here. It's kind of hard to see on this drawing.
That's one question. That wasn't actually my question though. I meant at the front of the house.
Oh, you mean on the other side of the house?
The other side of the front
Oh,
house, main
okay.
house.
The other side of the house has a
Right there,
steel
yeah.
existing, a steel way back here, and there's a bunch
Yeah.
of vegetation in here. So that
Okay,
stays
I
the
was just
same.
curious if that was getting
Oh, okay.
replaced now also or not. Or if
Yeah,
that's
it's
already
a-
in place.
It's a steel fence already back here.
Okay,
This is existing.
yeah, I don't think I have any other questions.
Okay. Johnny, anything for you?
Hey, Marcellus, going back on that west elevation of the back structure.
Yep.
It looks like, so the corrugated steel panels that are on the existing structure are only, is that infill? Am I reading that correctly? From the
Yeah.
Floor plan?
So right now, the masonry just wraps around the corner,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a large beam spanning. So all the masonry would stay intact, and it would be a frame infill of those sections, right
Okay.
here.
Is there a let's see. It's just
What's
that
the-
transition between the metal where it occurs on the screen doors and where that masonry infill just seems a little awkward in elevation. Is there a other place that could be taken, or I mean, I see why you're doing it.
I mean, it could be moved slightly a little bit more to kind of, flesh out that that jam to make it read more. I
You
mean,
mean like
functional,
moving that door?
yeah. I mean, functionally, moving it further out this way kind of makes it, I don't
Yeah.
know, makes it awkward.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, just a question. I don't think it's gonna hold back what I'm trying to do here.
So you're eliminating the clay roof tile?
Yeah, it would need to be basically substantially replaced. There's cracked tiles, there's fallen tiles.
Okay,
And, it doesn't really match the rest of the development zone as it is. It's not like
Right.
it's predominantly clay tile.
And so are you suggesting the same wall and roof material?
You mean the
Or are you
corrugated?
gonna have a different metal profile for the roof versus the walls?
No, proposing the same, just, a traditional, S
Corrugated.
corrugation,
Okay,
which
so it
is
won't be
what
like rusted and galvanized, it's all gonna be painted?
it'll be, yeah, like factory painted.
Okay,
There's several of these non-contributing things along this alley are corrugated. These two right here are corrugated roof and walls. So there's a language for it. I mean, it's not in the development zone, but it's in that alley. And there's plenty of them throughout the neighborhood.
Yeah, I agree. We do see those in the neighborhood.
yeah, I don't have an issue with that. I just wanted clarification to make sure I was understanding.
Okay. I don't have any questions myself. So do we have a motion regarding Marcellus's proposal?
This is Sarah Fajardo. I move that we approve it as presented.
This is Johnny Birkenbein, a second.
Okay. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
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 Aye, Rick McDonald, aye. So we have 4-0 aye. All right, Marcellus, we're good. Have fun
All
with
right,
it.
thank you very much for your time, and nice
Okay.
seeing you all, especially Johnny. Haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah.
Have a good
Need
evening.
to catch up.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. All right,
Take
thank you.
care.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to HPZ 20057 and DP 200214 Thousand North Stone Onza Parks bathroom. And Tom, I see you're here. You must be
Yeah.
presenting.
Yes, how you doing?
Awesome.
You guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for having me on your agenda again. I'm a project manager with City of Tucson Parks and Recreation. And I've been working on Onza Park improvements for the past, 3 years. So I think the last time I met with this group was the summer of 2020 in the midst of the pandemic. And I shared with you the plans for the dog park and for a new restroom. And it made its way through the process. So where we're at now is the last task we have is to demo the old restroom. And that went through the process back in 2020. And there was a decision letter that was issued stating that park staff needs to come back to the historical commission and the subcommittees prior to any demo work. So that's the primary purpose why I'm here today. So can I share a couple slides with you?
Absolutely.
If this doesn't work, I'm gonna see if Michael or Jody can do it. But let me see what happens here.
And I'm just going to
Here,
note for the
by the
record
way-
while you're doing that, that I see Damon just joined us.
All right.
Yep, I
so
joined.
Can you see it? Did it pop up?
Yep, it's there.
I got it.
Okay, cool. All right, it hasn't been working with Zoom for a while, so. Let's see here. From the beginning. There we go. See if I can get to the next, okay, here we go. So this is the second slide. This is an image of the master plan design concept that was, well, we went through about 2 years of updating the master plan concept. We had some public meetings in person. And then when the pandemic hit, we had some virtual meetings. And then right after that, we began design of the dog park and the new restroom. So you'll see the master plan concept on the left there. The dog park is in the upper right. I think most of you are familiar with the dog park. It's doing well, but we still need to do some improvements there. And then the new restroom was proposed for the southwest corner of the park at the very bottom. So the image on the right is just an aerial image showing the locations of the two restrooms. The new restroom located at the southwest corner by First Street and Stone. And then the old restroom, which has been there since 1954. That restroom is at the southeast corner of the park. So a little bit of background information. So we ended up building the new park restroom. We just opened it about 3 weeks ago. So that image in the upper right is the new restroom, and it looks pretty much identical to the design that we shared with you back in 2020. We went through that process, and you had recommended things per the design code, such as corrugated roof. We had to change that, change some colors, change some other exterior features. So that restroom is up and running right now. And the scope of work also calls for the demolition of the old restroom. So we could not demo the old restroom because that restroom houses it used to house the irrigation equipment for the entire park. So we had our irrigation pump in there, we had our controller in there, all of our water connections and shutoffs were in there. And then on the other side, there was some other electrical shutoffs for the park. And let's see, so we presented this info to you, the scope of work to you in 2020. I think everybody was pretty much in agreement with the strategy that Parks was pursuing with the location of the new restroom and then the eventual demo of the old restroom. However, a previous memo from the Historical Commission, I think it was from 2019, stated that any demo of that restroom, the restroom had to be deconstructed. So I would like to get clarification as I go through the process of what that entails. I'm assuming that means salvaging some of the parts. Let's see, so I did fill out the standard demo application in September. I submitted that online to PDSD. And then I did fill out the historic demo application in October, and I submitted that. I believe PDSD has everything that they need from me at this point. I can provide whatever else they need. We did go ahead and remove the asbestos in the old restroom. There wasn't much in there. There was some asbestos around a couple of the vent pipes. And then I believe some of the window sills. That was taken care of, that was certified. And Durazo Construction is the builder of the new restroom. So I did a change order to have them do the demo or the deconstruction of the old restroom. So they're ready to go. If you go out there today, there's a fence around the property, around the structure itself. So pictures of the new restroom, if you haven't seen them already, or you haven't wandered up to it, this is the cleanest it's ever going to look. It's already been tagged last week, I believe, and there was quite a mess in there. So we had to build this industrial style, and so far it's held up. This is a close-up of the door. It has magnetic locks on it. So for those of you that live in West University, you might not know how this operates. I've been working closely with Judy Sensabar and Jim Glock on the operation part in coordination with TPD and our parks maintenance staff. So the magnetic locks are on a timer. They open, the door opens at 6 a.m. It automatically locks at 10:30 p.m. The place is, there's an emergency release inside. So if somebody's inside and needs to get out, they can hit the emergency release. We don't know how this is going to go, but the door is fairly see-through. So park staff, TPD, anybody else can see inside. There's a divider between the urinal and the toilet, so you can't see all the way back to the toilet. But I can answer questions about that a little bit later. Let's see. So the old restroom, our documents indicate that it was completed in 1954, along with a couple of other improvements at the park. And there really aren't that many improvements at the park. If you go back and look at the historic master plans for them, this happens to be one of the main features. So red brick, double brick structure, 16 feet long, 12 feet wide, 10 feet high, a little over 10 feet at the peak. There are 4 separate restrooms, believe it or not, in that little structure that's, I forget how many square feet is it, 240, something like that. The restrooms at either end are a mess. There is an electrical room on the east side of the structure and a mechanical room on the west side. Those are the 2 chase rooms to get to some of the plumbing for the restrooms. They were fully functioning. The restrooms were functioning up until the early 2000s. It's been a magnet for trouble since the 1980s. There's been a couple of murders in the area over the last few decades, quite a few arrests, drug dealing, prostitution, weapons. So TPD, thankfully, they've cleaned it up, but they are so eager to see this building gone. I know that many of the residents in West University want to see this gone, which is why we had funds allocated to build a new restroom in Prop 407. So here are some pics of the east and the west views, sides of the building. You can see that they're not in the best of condition. Those are metal doors. There are casement windows. They've got some screens on them. They've seen better days. These are pics of the inside on the left. That is the electrical room. Not much in there except for some panels with some breaker switches. The middle is one of the restrooms. They all look like that. They're very difficult to get into because they've been kicked in so many times that the doors are almost welded shut, but we were able to get into this one. And then the picture on the right, that's just of the ceiling in the mechanical room. That's an electrical box there. But I wanted you to see the underside of the roof, and it looks like, I think it's a 1x6 tongue and groove with some metal frame and 2x4s. So this is just some background information. Let's see here. I think I'll stop there and answer any questions that you may have. Any questions?
I don't have any.
Hey, Michael, is there anything, I mean, did you get all the did the city get all the documentation from
Yes.
Tom's team that they need? I mean, is there
Yes.
any? They did.
Yes, we
okay.
do.
Okay,
We do.
all right. So from
He
your
just
point,
sent, he just sent this one to us today, what he's presenting to you. I
sure.
just sent to them, but we're going to upload it to the other documents that we have previously.
Okay. Okay. So from a historical record point of view, you have all the information you need, you have all the plans you need. We're just saying, yay, verily, you can go ahead and tear it down. That's kind of what this is all about tonight.
I have a
That's what-
question. Tom, when this is turned down with all the electrical things that you're talking about, the sprinkler and things that are housed in here, what are you going to do with that?
With the materials,
Yeah, with all the utility stuff that are already in there for the
We're-
whole park, are you
we're gonna
going to
s-
relocate them?
yeah, we're gonna salvage a couple things in the mechanical room. There's a pump in there. And the control panel, we've already moved that over from this structure to the new structure.
Oh,
And
okay.
then you'll see there's an antenna, a communications antenna on the building. But other than that, Parks doesn't want to keep any of that. These aren't things that we can reuse and reinstall in other facilities within Parks. So the rest will be demoed and hauled to the landfill. And the contractor will salvage what they can. They'll recycle any metal components out of it.
So are you going to build another structure within the park to house those?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand that.
I think he's asking, so all of the sprinkler equipment and all that was in this building, where's that gonna go?
Thank you, Sarah.
Rachel.
There's a pump that we're gonna keep for another Parks facility. Everything in that structure is old. And we bought a brand new irrigation pump. It's kind of like the Mercedes of irrigation pumps for Parks. That's already set up in the new one.
So that's in the new bathroom.
Yeah,
building.
that's in the new bathroom. Yeah.
Okay, so there's not gonna be another building. All of everything that was in this building is in the new bathroom building.
Correct. Yeah.
Got it.
All right,
I think that was what we were unclear on.
Okay, got it.
all right, yeah. So when you're done, not only will that structure be gone, it'll just be grass there. There's nothing, no function remains.
No function. We're gonna compact it and reseed it and get on the irrigation system.
So removing the slab, everything, it's gonna just be,
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been a hideout for years and a lot of some of the troubles coming back in the last couple months, but TPD's on it and they're looking forward to this just being out of the way so they can see through that area.
Oh, yeah. And then for the record, for my correction, I meant to say Richard, not Sarah. Sorry.
Oh, that'll work.
that's okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Michael.
Okay. I don't have any questions and I don't think anyone else on the board does. Speak up if you do.
Jody and Michael, just so I understand the process, we're going to which side?
Yeah, after this, based on their recommendation today, your next step would be to go to the Plans Review Subcommittee of the Tucson-Pima County Historical Commission. That's a
Okay.
PRS. And after that, you are going to get a separate decision for this demolition. Once you get that decision that it is approved, then you add it to your demolition application that you have submitted to the city.
Okay, so do I need to attend another meeting after?
Yes,
the Thursday?
one more.
Okay, just the Thursday meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
You have one more meeting to attend with the Plans Review Subcommittee.
Okay, great.
All right, with that,
Yeah, one question, Rick.
yeah, sure, Johnny.
Just a question on the inventory sheet. It lists the comfort station as being part of the park. I mean, the park itself is the historic
Right.
component, so removing something like this doesn't affect that status?
No, not at all. This is non-contributing structure. It'd be like somebody demoing any other non-contributing structure, like an ancillary building on their own property, which, yeah, because this was built, I forgot, Tom, you said this was like in the 1950s?
50s, yeah.
Yeah,
1954, yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Well, I mean, the sheet lists the entire park and what's
Right.
contained within the park, but it doesn't say what's non-contributing, so that's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because you go to the GIS map, right, and it just says the whole park. It
Yeah,
doesn't- Yeah, I agree with you on
Okay.
that, but
so
But-
I guess
but-
if that's been confirmed, then
that's been confirmed. I think we discussed all that whenever Tom presented the whole master plan to us back whenever that was.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that particular issue was discussed during the master plan presentation, I remember.
right.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. All right, with that, do I have a motion to approve the demo?
This is Rachel Sarah. I motion to approve the demo.
Okay, Rachel, thank you. Second,
This is Damon, I second.
okay, Damon, thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, Damon,
Aye.
Johnny. Johnny, aye. Damon,
Sorry,
Damon?
trying to get off mute.
okay.
Yeah, aye.
Aye, this is Rick McDonald, aye. So we have a 5-0 approval. Good, tear that thing down. As a resident of West University, I would like to not see it anymore.
All righty. Well, thanks for your time, and I'm glad we're moving forward here.
Me too. All right, thank you very much. Have a good night.
All right, take care.
All right. Okay, that concludes item 5 on the agenda. Item 6, staff updates. Michael.
I think the only update that I can give is that I believe by now a lot of you must have been aware that the city has moved into a new permitting system, which is the EnerGov. So both the general public and staff, we are still getting used to it. We as staff, we are still going through a lot of training. I just want to say that if you go through to the Tucson Development Center, where the application process has to start, if you're meeting any obstacle, please just reach us to us, and then staff will be able to guide you through. It's a learning process for everybody, but I believe that at the end of the day, when everybody understands the program, I think it will be a program for everybody, because you as applicants or professionals, you'll be able to see where your project is, you'll see what review we are doing, what is reviewing, who is doing your project, and whatever it is, without necessarily making tons of phone calls and not getting staff or anything like that. But I say it's a learning process for everybody. This is about the second week that this was launched. It was actually launched on October 31st. So we are learning just like the general public is learning.
I have a question, Michael.
Yes.
Is it still the same process if we have a historic project that we need to still go to zoning first and get a letter?
Yes, it is the same process.
It's just a new way of submitting.
It's just a
drawings.
new way of doing the same thing. You will still, like those of you in the advisory board, you will still have to review projects just as you are reviewing these ones now. So nothing has basically changed in the process. It's just how you submit the application that is going to be a little bit different. But the process has not changed because the code is still the code. So
Right.
it's still the same thing. When you submit, it will have to go through zoning for them to get comments. And then for historic project, they will send it to us. We will review it and set up the meetings as this one. So the process, as far as your review is concerned, is still the same.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
As I say, let's just be patient. The only big change on it is that everybody has to have, you have to be able to have an account with Tucson Development Center before you can submit an application. And then we as staff, we are not accepting, you cannot send any application to me or to Jody. If you are doing a history review, you have to go to that side. That is where everything goes. And then we have staff at the counter Monday through Friday to help with any questions that the general public may have, either over the phone or some people can come in and then we have computers set up that we can walk you through it.
Right.
That is all update that I have.
All right, thank you, Michael. Item 7, future agenda. Do we have anything? in the
Yes,
future?
I am working on 2 projects in West University. I have 2 full reviews that I'm working on that will come for your review. There's one at 190 East First Street. That one they're proposing, I believe, is a garage door to door and windows and front doors. And then there is one at 502 East University Boulevard. I think there was a fire damage to that property. I have not yet gotten a hold of what the applicant wants to do, but I have it in the queue. Then for minor reviews, I have 2 minor reviews, which I will be reaching out to Rick for us to take a look at that. One at 341 East First Street, which is the mini split on the side of the roof. And then 2 is I have 532 East First Street, which is solar panel installation. And because I'm trying to get all these things out and get it done, exceptionally, they have allowed me to do on-site minor reviews. These 2 reviews, Rick, when I call you, I will be scheduling it as on-site review. So we'll just be there because they are quicker and then we can get it done so that everybody gets to the new process smoothly.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I believe they are now quicker to do those on-site review than me setting up a Zoom meeting and going through all the waiting and trying to get availability and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'll be reaching out to you on those. And
Okay.
I'll try to get them out as quickly as I can. I did like 5 of them last week in the Amory Park and the Barrow. So I just kept this thing for West University. The chances are that I might do that next week. So those are the 2 items that I have for your agenda.
Okay. You know, you remind me, Michael, is there was a survey that was done by PDSD some time ago asking everybody their thoughts on in-person reviews for the advisory board meetings.
Yes.
Is that imminent or going to happen, or is it still being discussed?
We carried your message to the administrators and our directors and everybody. They're aware of that. That direction has to come from the city clerk and mayor and council. Nothing has been given to us to that effect. But I think the way I see things going, I believe it is going to happen not far from now, not long from now.
Okay.
Because at PDSD, almost about 80% of the staff are back to the office now, or are working hybrid. We're spending more time. The director are encouraging people to spend more time in the office. So consequently, and then even in the office, we've started having in-person meetings. So I believe that these in-person advisory board meetings and the plans review subcommittee are going to happen. I just don't know when. We have not been given any direction on that. But the message from all the advisory board was sent to the appropriate quarters.
Appreciate that. And I do echo that it's easier to do these minor reviews in person than on those Zoom meetings with somebody holding a phone, looking at a building.
Yeah, there were a lot of problems involved in that. So I just suggested that we should do this. I think they just let me do it because we need to get this project out.
Sure. Okay, well, I appreciate that. All right, I have a secret agenda in my back of my head that we're going to be done by 7 o'clock. That is the end of item number 7. So brings us to item 8, adjournment. A motion to adjourn.
This is Rachel Sarah. I motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Rachel. Can I have a second, Rachel?
This is Johnny Birkenbein, second.
Thank you, Johnny. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
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 Aye. This is Rick McDonald. Aye. We have unanimous 5-0 adjournment. It is 6:52 PM. I am.
Woohoo.
That's
Woohoo,
a
right? We set a, we
Oh,
set a,
good people. That
All
was
right.
great.
thank you all. Happy to give you an hour back. Have a good night. Have a good
Okay.
weekend.
Thank
Have a
you
good
all.
one.
Thank you.
I'm going to
Thank
stop
you.
the recording now.
Yep,
Bye.
thank you. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.